Good morning. Welcome back to the 2021 Super Sixes here in Sparks, Maryland, in a Rise and Shine second game of the day. Our matchup this morning, the men's Haudenosaunee against men's Team USA. Jordan, we had a lot of action yesterday, but talk to me about this game. How do you think it's going to turn out?
I think we're going to see another goalie fest here. We had Warren Hill with 20 saves on the day yesterday in total. Jack Kelly with 11 in his game yesterday. The Haudenosaunee going with the younger option and Jack Van Vee. I'm excited to see him play in goal.
I really want to see another Haudenosaunee sudden victory game, right? And I think I need that this morning to wake me up. I haven't had enough coffee. But if you are new to the Sixes rule set, we're going to review that a little bit if you have questions. So there are 4 quarters. There's a draw, and yes, we call it a draw on both the men's and women's side of this Sixes discipline. Each quarter is 8 minutes, a game total of 20 minutes, so it's a short and sweet and fast in pace. There's going to be a limit on whistles, which is something that we all rejoice as coaches, or former coaches for that matter. There's a 30-second timeout, tons of subbing on the fly, 5 field players, 1 goalie. That is the 6v6 set that we have. And really, it's not only a fast-paced game, but we've seen a whole bunch of skill sets, right? You know, we've seen stick skills that rival something that we would see with the Haudenosaunee, the creators game. This is where it started.
Exactly. The players that are really creative, the inside finishers, the Ryder Garnseys of the world. 3 really just creative goals with his stick skills yesterday. We're going to see a lot of that today.
Yeah, and USA, a relatively younger team, keyword, like relatively younger. We have the veterans of the team, but also the younger ones coming in, and it's really been great seeing the way that they've adjusted to this Sixes rule set. So I think we are going to have a close game. I'm excited.
I'm just as excited, Amanda. Let's get it started.
Yeah, if you are sitting at home and you're like, man, this Sixes game is so exciting. It's fast-paced and it's energy-packed. You're right. But also, it's just been really great seeing, you know, the different strategies that have come into play. We haven't seen that much. Initially, when the Blue Skies working group and athletes around the world helped make this rule set, people were skeptical, right? And so if you're a skeptic and you're still like, oh, I don't want Sixes to take away my traditional game, well, your game's not going anywhere.
Exactly, and look, I'm really excited to see this Haudenosaunee team. They just got together here on Friday. This Team USA group been together a little bit longer, have a little bit more experience, but now this Haudenosaunee team with 2 practices and 2 games under their belt, I expect them to look a lot better today here.
All right, and we are back out right now, Team USA with the ball. Rogers with the ball behind, moving it up top to number 14, our friend Justin Guttering, who we saw a ton of yesterday. And we should talk about how there is a turnover in play. If you shoot the ball and let's say USA shoots it on Haudenosaunee and it bounces off a Haudenosaunee player and goes out of bounds, then it's a change in possession.
Exactly, just that quick rolling game as we see Haudenosaunee getting the offense settled here. And right away he's going to go to the goal but not get a good shot.
Looking for the behind the back pass and feed, not happening.
Kevin Rogers in the right spot at the right time, getting that transition started for Team USA, who they were looking like they were going to go, but now slowing it down a little bit, getting deeper into that shot clock here.
Beautiful feed from
Kevin
Smith.
Rogers.
So Smith to Rogers, Rogers to the back of the net. I mean, way to start the game with that initial goal. So it is a 1-0 game. USA up by 1 goal, 6:44 left in the first quarter.
And that's just that chemistry from Team USA. A lot of these guys playing in multiple Sixes events over the summer together, as we see a goal here by Leroy Halftown, getting it right past Jack
You know,
Kelly.
Leroy, it's interesting. I call that the 0% shot. There are only certain players that can make that, and he is one of them.
1,000%. And right away, as we see Dan Bucaro with that finish.
Dan answering immediately back with a goal. You know, we knew that this is going to be a tight matchup. I do think it's going to get scrappy. It's going to be back and forth and back and forth.
And look, we saw that in our earlier game with the women's. We're on the second day here. We could see a lot more aggressive play as these teams have started to figure out the Sixes format. What a shot there by Haudenosaunee. Just right there from the outside, ripping that.
Beautiful shot. Now we're awake. Rise and shine, second game of our Sunday.
Just needed a couple.
Here's a replay of that gorgeous riser. What a hard shot to read, too, as a goalie.
And what a feed there by Guttering over to Garnsey.
ball movement from USA, clean, calculated. I said that, and then they missed the feed. I guess I am a jinx, but yes, a clean, calculated bullet. Feeds and passes and shots.
And listen, for the Haudenosaunee, look, they're getting more settled early on. And we saw in both games yesterday, going a little bit earlier in the shot clock now as we see them now getting settled, taking more of that 30-second shot clock. You know, it is a 30-second shot clock that goes by fast. But these teams are figuring out that, hey, we don't necessarily have to take the earliest shot. We can go deeper into that 30 seconds.
So Ty Thompson missing that pass initially, but we could hear him from the get-go when they were on their offensive side, really dictating, being a leader on the field, telling his players where to go. That's the voice that Haudenosaunee needs right now in this game.
And that's just him being a veteran of the game of lacrosse. Listen, these veterans, it doesn't matter what discipline of lacrosse that they're playing, they're able to adjust right away.
An off-ball movement from Team USA, really making room for teammates.
And how about Kevin Rogers again? His second goal of the day early here.
And Rogers doesn't need much room to make that shot. I mean, through 3 or 4 players, it would be a very, very hard shot to save by any goalie.
And look at that one-on-one defense by Connor Kirst. Almost had the turnover there, but Jacob Patterson's going to be right to that
Here
ball.
is that feed. 2 steps, boom. Up top. I mean, what a lethal shot. It had power behind it. That was not just a Hail Mary shot. And moving
Team
the ball
USA,
fast with intent.
They have transition here with Resch. Resch going right to the goal as Van Vee had that save. And Resch was slow to get to it.
Van
And
Vee,
now
what a
we're going to see
save.
Haudenosaunee bring it back up on offense.
Ty Thompson again really telling his teammates where to go, what to do.
As we're going to see the young player, Colton Marquise, one of the best players in the box game, getting some action here in sixes. And he was in the crease.
We got to talk about just how smooth and tight these stick skills are from Haudenosaunee. Being able to catch it with 2 people on you, there aren't very many teams that can do that.
And listen, the Haudenosaunee, they're known, whether it's in field or box, for their stick skills. And we're seeing that in sixes, but what a goal by Justin Gutterding.
Just drops his stick, and there you go, right between the legs. A hard one to read as a goalie. Is it a bouncer? Is it high? Is it low? Man, what a shot. We've seen a ton of him this weekend, too.
This game is fit for him on offense. Really great finisher, whether it's out on the outside, inside, and Gutterding's made a name for himself this weekend. As we see a shot there by number 36, Vern Hill.
You know, Vern Hill answering, right, immediately. Well, I'll take your shot. I'll raise you one.
And listen, Team USA won by 5 goals. The Haudenosaunee saying, no, we're going to keep this one closer as we get Van Vee with a save there.
And here's a replay of that, answering really clearly. Haudenosaunee saying, nope, not today. It's a 4-3 game. It is, in fact, very much a game. There's a strategic timeout on the field. That's a 30-second timeout in sixes. That's enough to maybe say 2 or 3 things as a coach and maybe make 1 or 2 adjustments. So thoughts on these shot placements right now? Jordan, talk to me about this.
Look at this right there with Tahoka with that outside shot here. Really just, we're seeing a lot of creative shots here, Amanda, right? And then as we're going to see right here, Kevin Rogers, just from the outside. You know, in sixes, we've seen a lot of the inside finishes. Today, guys are more willing to dare themselves from the outside. And then we just have here Justin Gutterding just using his body to his advantage here as he gets that low shot in. And then again, we have
awesome shot placement. I love it right now because they're answering back, right? 4-3 game, 2:23 left in the first quarter of our Sunday Super Sixes matchup. Team USA men against Team Haudenosaunee men. This is very much a game. I'm excited. I do. I want to see another sudden victory.
If we needed something to wake us up, here we are.
Oh, yeah. I don't need Red Bull
in this
anymore.
first quarter.
I will just keep watching the Haudenosaunee shoot. And Haudenosaunee getting the ball moving again. Their ball movement and passing is so clean. We have 91 Ty Thompson going in.
Connor Kirst again. He's been really a factor here on defense, playing guys one-on-one, forcing transition, forcing turnovers here.
And tons of talk from Team USA also. I mean, it should be noted that these teams were a little bit quieter yesterday, but not quiet with a goal like that.
How about Resch? This Sixes format is perfect for a guy like Resch, who's we've seen him as a two-way player in field, and now we're seeing that in Sixes, whether it's one-on-one defensively or right there as we saw finishing with the goal.
Lots of movement too off ball with Haudenosaunee, something we didn't necessarily see on the women's side this morning.
And as you say that, we're going to get a turnover from the Haudenosaunee here.
'27, Team USA with the ball yet again. Brad Smith taking it behind, moving it to number 14.
As we see Justin Gutterding starting to initiate something, and he's just going to take that for himself. Another outside shot from Justin Gutterding.
I have to agree with you, Jordan. I think this game was absolutely made for him. 91, Ty Thompson moving it to center right now. 88 from Haudenosaunee.
Colton Marquise.
And here's a replay of this, very much a Justin shot.
Just giving him the little feint. I'm going to go to somebody. No, I'm going to take it myself. And then we have Kelly here with one of his first saves.
We talk about goalies really needing to adjust, mentally, right? Being a goalie in this game is very difficult. You're having back and forth. You're also a voice on the field. It can be, you might see 50 shots. You need to be able to bounce back mentally, and we've seen that from a lot of our older, sort of more veteran goalies.
And Ryder Garnsey from the outside.
Gorgeous. Oh, man.
How about Ryder Garnsey and his creativity, man?
Those two. Ryder, Justin, made for Sixes.
And look at Dehoga Nanacoke putting his body in and almost went behind the back there, but went right into traffic as this first quarter is going to end here.
And a tough one there. You're forcing it, and I know he wants to get the ball in the back of the net. Here's a replay of that. Oh, beautiful shot. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back with our third quarter. Welcome back to the 2021 Super Sixes, first ever Super Sixes, Jordan, from Sparks, Maryland. We're here on day 2. Rise and shine for our second game of our Sunday matchup. Right now we have USA men versus men from the Haudenosaunee. It's 7-3.
And listen, Amanda, as we see that goal here by Kevin Rogers, we now have a 5-goal game. But don't fool you, the Haudenosaunee have come out and played a lot better than they had yesterday.
Yeah, I am wide awake. I didn't need that Red Bull because this game is back and forth. The shots are gorgeous. I love it. I mean, every shot is a trick shot. I want to see SportsCenter top 10. I want to see both teams on there. This is a fun one.
And listen, we saw yesterday a lot of, as we see a whipper right there, a lot of guys just trying to find the best shot yesterday. Now we're seeing a little bit more of that creativity as guys are starting to get used to the pace of the Sixes, the spacing of it and whatnot.
Yeah, if you're new to Sixes, we have 4 quarters. They're 8 minutes long. That is a game total of 20 minutes running. We have a shot clock of 30 seconds. Man, it's fun.
And here, Gutterding almost had that feed on the inside, but Ty Thompson, right place, right time, and as he's bringing it up, did a little bit of transition here for the Haudenosaunee. We haven't seen a lot of that here, but now they're just going to take it a little bit deeper into the shot clock. And Jacob Patterson almost had that finish there. What hustle there by number 21 for the Haudenosaunee, Brooker Muir.
Their whole team really exhibiting their endurance and speed right off the bat of this second quarter.
And listen, the Haudenosaunee opting to sit some of the veterans of this team and go with the younger squad, and we're seeing that to help them to their advantage here early on. May not necessarily be indicated on the scoreboard, but we're definitely seeing it in their hustle here. As Brooke Muir
a beautiful dive. Man, I love these shots. Haudenosaunee, man, I am wide awake. If you're just tuning in, we have an 8-4 game, USA up, 5:55 left in that second quarter.
And they woke up and said, hey, we don't care what we're playing. As Gutterding again.
Oh, man. I want to just see his highlight reel. We're just going to play all of those at the end of Super Sixes, really just showcasing the fact that he is going to shoot his shot every time, and he is going to absolutely get it in the back of the net.
And he doesn't care where he is on the field, whether it's outside, inside. I mean, shoot, we might see him go from midfield by the end of the day here.
So here's a look at those beautiful game-changing goals.
Just look at Muir going right into the inside, bodying himself.
Committing to that.
And then Gutterding, what an outside shot. We've seen that a lot this weekend, haven't we, Amanda?
Yeah, you know what? His bouncers, too, they don't bounce, they spin. And as a goalie, very difficult to read that, right? You're looking for that high bounce. Not happening. Not with that shot. That's almost like a curveball in baseball. So we have the ball behind with Team USA number 50. Moving it up top.
That's Ryan Tierney here. Trying to initiate something from behind the goal, but couldn't there as that ball's going to go past midfield, and DeHoga is going to get to it and try to get some transition and score a goal himself, but that was wide.
I think he thought he had a little more time there, too. You know, they're crashing in. USA crashing in hard.
We haven't seen the Haudenosaunee get some transition. Would love to see them take advantage of some of those one-on-one opportunities here.
Absolutely. USA moving the ball with intent. Ball behind number 4.
And look at Bucaro, DeGlissini, and then the save by Van B.
What a save, too. Nothing like having to stay home, and not committing until that last second. I mean, goalies, if you want to be phenomenal, you need to watch this. Ball up top with 38 from Haudenosaunee. They keep bringing it behind, which is something I wanted to see before, Jordan, because we've seen a lot of forced passes, assists, and all of that from up top versus using the behind the crease as an advantage.
And what an outside shot by the youngster, Brooke Muir.
Sweet. Oh, my Lord.
Listen, we saw a lot. If yesterday was inside shots, we're definitely seeing a lot here from the outside today.
There is no way humanly possible I could make that shot. Beautiful shot from the Haudenosaunee.
And what ball movement by Team USA as Kevin Rogers finishes.
And USA answering immediately, too. This is what I love about the Haudenosaunee-USA matchup. It is back and forth. They answer with a goal. Here is a replay of that shot. Look how far out that is.
Wow.
Unreal.
I don't think I can make that shot. I don't know about you, Amanda.
Definitely not. Definitely not. And no one wants to see that from me. But what they do want to see is more goals like that. So Haudenosaunee scoring right off the bat. 3:02 left in the second half. It is a 10-6 game.
And what hustle there on defense, stopping that USA transition there by Jacob Patterson.
Unbelievable. Great talk, too, from USA.
Really taking command here defensively as we see Kevin Rogers there trying to make it a scrap, and he indeed does, but that goal is going to get in. Wow. Larson Sundown, the RIT national champion with the finish there.
Oh, my. The sidelines, too, by the way, especially the Haudenosaunee sideline getting really energized, getting really loud. And I know this about playing, and you know this about playing and coaching, is that you feed off the energy from the sideline. So if it's quiet, if it's crickets, but he's got teammates cheering him on.
And listen, whether it's the sideline or the crowd, and excuse me, that wasn't Sundown, that was Halftown there, 38. But listen, early here in the morning, we've got a good crowd going, whether it's on the sidelines here, and this crowd's woken up maybe better than us.
And ripping it, looking for that shot.
Nanacoke wide.
Little too wide on that one. Goalie tipping it off a bit.
He's more known for going into the inside in traditional field and box, but we're seeing him from the outside here, taking his chances here. Can't blame him. And the Haudenosaunee taking that lead down from 5-3, slowly cutting in. You're never truly out of it. You know, we saw a 4-goal game at the end of the first quarter, got to 5. But listen, no panic here in the Haudenosaunee. They're playing a lot better today. And as we see, they're slowly chipping down at that Team USA lead.
Very interesting. We haven't really seen too many teams holding the ball on their defensive end like that.
And that was smart right there by Cassini, just
out.
Going the full field, knowing that there wasn't a lot of time on the shot clock, making them get the ball past midfield.
And that's what we talked about, like strategy, because when we first rolled out with the sixes and we saw the first games, it was very much a half-court, basketball game. It was back and forth. And now they're really implementing strategy. Here is a replay of that dive shot. Beautiful, really committing to it. And then USA immediately answering back. And we knew this was going to be a game, but really the strategy that both teams are now implementing, I mean, I love seeing that.
Exactly, and we're seeing a lot more. We saw that earlier in our women's game here. As we get to the second day, a lot of a lot more deeper into the game plans here. You know, Saturday we saw all of these teams really just trying to get used to that pace of play. Now we're seeing more creativity, more strategy here, and I love to see it so far.
Absolutely. So we have 1:04 left in this second quarter. This is the second game on our Super Sixes Day 2. Sunday in Sparks, Maryland. So it's a chilly morning, but it does not matter because this game is not chilly. It is definitely a hot game. The stands are pretty packed, and the sidelines, the energy-wise, I mean, man, it's nice to hear some energy this early in the morning. I don't think I need Red Bull anymore.
And listen, if the guys weren't awake, their sidelines have gotten them.
Yes, they're dialed in. Both teams seem very dialed in and focused. You know, you want to be that last team scoring right before the quarter ends. So it dictates what the halftime and that third quarter looks like. Haudenosaunee with the ball up top, number 24, moving it again to number 1. Tons of talk.
And the USA opting the double there, Banana Coat. But as we're going to see a turnover here, USA is going to get possession.
A lot of subbing on the fly. A lot of these guys used to it too.
Hey, listen, Amanda, this is now the third event that we've seen a lot of the same group for Team USA play. We're definitely seeing that chemistry. We saw it in the games yesterday, just a continuation of it here this morning.
27 with the ball behind, looking for clean feed.
And Justin Anderson from the outside. That would have been from 2 range, but of course we don't have that here in sixes.
Wow.
And as the Haudenosaunee are going to go quickly, try and get
and
a last minute
answer,
shot.
and that's what I love about these two teams. They immediately answer, right? It's getting a little scrappy right now. And here we have time running out in the second quarter. It's 11-8, USA up. I do love the way that these teams answer.
And listen, that ending is the definition of sixes. We got back and forth, a little bit scrappy, and that's what we love to see. It's very entertaining to watch here.
Absolutely. So it's 11-8, United States up. We very much have a game. Here's a look at that last shot, ripping it like a tot. We will take a short break, and we'll see you in a few for the third. Good morning. Welcome back to the 2021 Super Sixes, the first ever Super Sixes from Sparks, Maryland this morning. We're here with the Rise and Shine second game of today. I'm joined with Jordan Johnson. So talk to me about this. We have the men's USA versus men's Haudenosaunee. It's been really exciting, but what are you looking to see going into that third quarter?
I'm just looking to see more of that creativity from both teams. As they finally started to figure out the pace here, we're seeing much more creative shots, whether it's from the outside, inside, really from anywhere. You know, we saw Justin Gutterding have himself a half. We saw Dehoga Nanakoke with a goal and a couple of assists there. Brooke Meir, the Haudenosaunee with the younger group here, getting them a little bit closer with Team USA. Lost by 5 yesterday. They were down by 4 at the end of the first quarter, but now they've cut that into a 3-goal deficit. And the Haudenosaunee are very much in this game, looking a lot better than they have.
And I'm very much awake, having watched the first 2 quarters of that game. It has been incredible to see both these teams, the way that they've adjusted. Their shooting, by the way, we've seen those outside 30-yard shots. We've seen close, but I can tell you all of them are Sports Center top 10. We're going to take a look at some of those highlights from the game thus far. Taking a look right here. A shot placement on point. I mean, talk to me about this.
And look at Kelly's face. He looks like, I couldn't find that. And then as we see Rest there with the finish, and then who else? Justin Gutterding from the outside. We've seen a lot of that this weekend out of him. And then we're going to see Ryder Garnsey just using his creativity and stick skills, one of the best to do it in this game. And then Kevin Rogers right there with the inside finish.
Beautiful ball movement from both teams. We have an 11-8 game going into our third quarter. I mean, right now it's been interesting seeing the way that the energy has changed with this game versus maybe the game we saw earlier on the women's side. Yes, it was early, but man, the sidelines are loud. You know, the fans are loud, and it's really loud on the field.
Exactly. Everybody just have to have their morning coffee, get used to it.
Have your morning Haudenosaunee. Have your morning Haudenosaunee and Team USA, because this is where it's at right now, and this is sixes. You know, Jordan and I talked about this pretty extensively. It's one discipline of several games, right? They kind of marry together. They live together. We have our box game. We also have, you know, our traditional game. And now we have this sixes game. And, man, it's high energy.
And so all the people that are saying this is just glorified box, this is just dumbed down field. No, it's not. It's sixes. And that's the uniqueness of it, the fast pace, the transition. And listen, we are seeing a lot of shots, and we're seeing a lot of transition here, Amanda.
And if you're new to the sixes game and you're just tuning in to the first ever Super Sixes, just know that it is a 6v6 game, obviously sixes, but we have 5 field players and 1 goalie. That's the total of 6. We have quarters that begin with a draw. If you're like in men's lacrosse, it's called a face-off, Amanda. Well, in sixes, it's called a draw on both the men's and women's side. A huge part of the sixes rule set is the harmonization between men's and women's lacrosse. So if I am someone that's never seen lacrosse before, I'm sitting in the stands and I watch a men's game and I watch a women's game, to be able to see the crossover there and know that they're basically the same. Exciting, fast-paced, limit on whistles, and man, it's been exciting thus far. So we are going to take a very short break. We're going to come back for the start of our third quarter of our first men's game of Sunday's USA versus Haudenosaunee. Welcome back to the 2021 first ever Super Sixes from Sparks, Maryland. I'm joined with Jordan Johnson. Jordan, you've been such an incredible expert when it comes to both bringing in the box and the traditional game. Talk to me about this third quarter. You know, what kind of things we might see as far as techniques and strategy and shooting.
And listen, I mean, I don't want to say we're going to see a mix of both, but we're going to see some of both concepts, whether it's the outside shooting of the field game or just some of the passing of the box game here. I think we're going to in for an exciting second half, Amanda, as we see right away Team USA getting that passing going. Ryan Tierney's shot was wide there, but that's what Team USA has been doing, making that extra pass, making it. It seems like we've seen them make at least 2 to 3 passes on every possession. What a fake by Garnsey as that shot was wide. That would have been a beauty if it went in.
Yeah, USA not giving Haudenosaunee an opportunity to play defense, really. Not even giving them an opportunity to settle, saying, nope, we're going to move the ball so fast, we're going to keep you on your toes. Ball up top with Haudenosaunee, looking to make something happen.
And as we've seen both of these teams, yesterday we saw a lot of one-player offense, one player just going straight to the goal. Both of these teams going deep into the shot clock, making a couple passes. As we see the creativity of Mira there as that shot got blocked. He's going to get it back for the Haudenosaunee and go again from the outside. So there was a yard sale from somebody.
We were talking about this getting scrappy, you know, getting a little more physical going into that third and fourth quarter. We're seeing it right now.
I think that might have been the first offensive yard sale we've seen in a while.
Ooh.
What an outside shot from Kevin Rogers.
Wow, what a missile shot there.
And then, as we were just talking about, that outside shooting, a lot of players from the field game bringing that here to sixes, and we're seeing that early on here.
Incoming subbing, number 6 from Haudenosaunee coming in hot.
And that was just a good play by Glacini being in
Here's
the right
a
spot
look
at the
at
right time.
One step, beautiful missile shot. Number 6 with Haudenosaunee up top.
Over here to Colton Marquise. That's a good matchup there for Anderson as that one's going to go out of bounds.
Little too wide on that one. Team USA with the ball now. We have 6:04 left in the third quarter.
As we see Connor Kearse here, thought he was going to use his body there on the inside. Instead, makes the pass to Gutterding. And Brad Smith almost had the finish there, but that one's going to go wide. Team USA still going to keep possession. So they're going to say that Marcin Sundown had possession there.
And not too many crease rolls we've seen thus far in Super Sixes. I was excited about that one, but the angle just not great.
And here we see again Team USA moving that ball around here as Anderson got a good shot. That was just wide.
Haudenosaunee, again, very vocal on the sidelines. You'll see a lot of subbing on the fly right now, getting some fresh legs in.
And how about Van Vee getting his first international action here? He's played well here for the Haudenosaunee.
He's played phenomenally. We have number 21, Haudenosaunee.
Brooke Mayer, he's made a name for himself here. Some of these younger Haudenosaunee players, we're going to see them in the future getting their first taste of international action.
Halftime looking for that shot, not there. So we have USA.
USA going quickly here with Anderson. And Justin Anderson finishing for himself there.
Now, here's what I love about it. I think Haudenosaunee is going to answer back with something. They are known for that.
Look at Jacob Patterson. Wanted to go right to the goal there. He's going to continue looking as he just couldn't find something as that shot went wide.
Here's a look at that shot we saw earlier. Oh, man, what a hard one to read, too. Really pulling the goalie to the opposite side. And that sidearm shot's a hard one to read.
Listen, we're seeing Garnsey here going across the midfield.
We now have a 13-8 game, 4 minutes and 16
Garnsey,
seconds.
what a finish on the inside. We've seen him do that in college and in the VLL, and he's bringing that here to sixes.
4 minutes, just about 4 minutes left in the third quarter.
Listen, Amanda, this is a 6-goal game, but the Haudenosaunee are very much still in it here. They can get a couple quick goals here, and Sundown almost had that, but Kelly was right there.
You know, a lot of forcing shots right now from Haudenosaunee. I really want to see them be a little more calculated because their stick skills are just top notch. They are the reason for the game. So
wouldn't say they hit the panic button yet, but they definitely, you see the nerves settling in as the sleete's growing larger, and we're going to see it grow even larger.
That's
from
like
guess who? Justin Cutterding.
We know this game has also been made for him. It is that low key. Yeah, I'm just going to rip this shot like it's going to get in every time from so far outside. We don't really see that so often. It's really exciting to see it here.
I'm surprised they're not doubling Muir here as he's going inside. And Kelly with the finish. Muir's been on one for the Haudenosaunee here as the Team USA has 1-on-1 transition with Kevin Rogers finishing. And that, we've seen that be the wheelhouse for Team USA, right?
Yep, absolutely. And so Haudenosaunee, like back and forth right now, trying to answer. USA coming back. It's a 16-8 game, 254.
If you're the Haudenosaunee, you just need a goal.
Oh, and here we go.
They're
like, yeah, see, I kept trying to do that. They're trying to answer back. We have a 16-9 game, 2:49 left in the quarter. USA, a very fast team today.
Wouldn't surprise me to see them slow it down a little bit here with this lead, use up a little bit more of that shot clock. As you see there, Brad Smith thought he had a shot there. Instead, he feeds it to his buddy Justin Anderson.
You know, I can tell, and I think you can tell too, Jordan, that USA has really found their niche in this game.
Exactly.
If they move the ball with intent, if they don't give the Haudenosaunee an opportunity to play their man or even zone defense, then they're going to get in the back of the net, and that's exactly what they're doing.
And out of all three teams, what a finish by Danico.
Little dramatic end there, right? But, you know, sealing the deal, getting the ball in the back of the net, that's exactly what they needed. It's a 17-10 game. We talked about this so many times. We think this is going to be a close game in the end.
As you see Team USA, out of all three teams, I think they've had the most clean passing. Obviously, as we talked about earlier, a lot of these guys have played together in sixes here, but just really clean, crisp passing on there from Team USA, getting the good shot as Kirst almost had a bouncer.
I do love that Ty Armstrong, number 61, Haudenosaunee, putting on the pressure now defensively. We haven't seen really a high-pressure defense from them yet, but USA coming in hot with that high pressure.
And listen, in sixes, we've seen kind of a mix between man and zone defense. Both teams just trying to figure out what really works best as Team USA has transition again. That was just wide.
A little too wide. Little too wide with the backhand there. 14 sprinting all the way down. Couldn't seal that pass. That's a toughie to make, too. Toughie to make. It's got to be a leading pass. Hard to make with your backhand.
Listen, Team USA, they've really gotten some momentum here in this third quarter. And really, that's just been by them making the extra pass.
Ty Thompson, I know, wants a goal badly, looking to take it from up top there and moving it to his teammates.
And what a play by Rush there on Muir and not letting him use that body to get to the goal. We saw Muir take advantage of Team USA earlier with his speed getting to the goal, but Rush said no.
Kirst moving it to behind. Vaquero, the ball behind again, looking for those cleaner feeds. And they're in no rush. We have 22 seconds left in the third. 10 seconds left on the shot clock for Team USA.
Gutty tries to make something for himself, but now he's got to give it off to Bucaro. And Gutty again thought he had not shot, but that was wide.
And the shot clock runs out.
But they are
going to
resets.
It reset. Oh, I lied.
There we go.
We have a change of possession. We have 2 seconds left. Not enough for Haudenosaunee to get it on their attacking end. So we are done with the third quarter of our first men's game. We have Team USA men 17, Haudenosaunee 10. Here is a replay of those last few shots. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back with our fourth and final quarter. Welcome back to the 2021 Super Sixes here in Sparks, Maryland, with our first men's game of our game plan today. Jordan, thank you for joining me. And those of you that are skeptical sitting at home.
What a quick goal there by Ty Thompson. You know, we were talking during the break, and you were talking about how you'd love to see Ty Thompson get on the board, and right out of the gate here in the fourth quarter, he gets one for the
sealing the deal. So we have sixes. For those of you that do not know what the sixes discipline is, it is 6v6, 5 field players, 1 goalie, 30-second timeouts, 4 quarters, 8-minute quarters.
What a shot there by guess who?
Enough to get all of those shots, right? Oh, man, unbelievable game.
How about Justin Gutterding today? What a game he's had today. What a weekend he's had as a whole.
I mean, it was made for him. We've
and
talked about
quickly,
that, Jordan.
Thompson almost had it again, but just hit the pipe.
So we got 18-11 right now, 6:55 left in the fourth quarter for our Super Sixes matchup today. Team USA versus Team Haudenosaunee.
Here we have Gutterding again. What a feed and what a finish by Patrick Resch.
And sealing the deal right now, 19-11. Haudenosaunee, I'm sure Jordan is going to answer back.
So they're going to take a little bit more time here. Tried to get something settled here with the young Colton Marquise. And look at him. He's going to have a shot that goes wide.
You know, it's interesting, too, seeing Colton just take his time versus the forcing, you know, versus the I'm going to let 3 people play crash defense on me, and then I'm going to try to get that ball, and it's going to force a turnover.
And that's his bread and butter in boxing. He's bringing that here to the Sixes game.
19-11 here.
And Cara almost had a shot there.
Haudenosaunee looking to answer back.
Go in
bounce pass
here. And Kelly, what a save there on the doorstep. His Team USA is going to keep possession here.
Kelly really making a name for himself here at Super Sixes. You know, one of the first times we've seen him thus far, but man, making some very clutch saves. Number 15, Haudenosaunee with the ball up top. Number 17, Haudenosaunee looking to drive from that side.
And we're seeing them here in the fourth quarter trying to get something a little bit more settled. They were really going for a lot of transition in that third. And what hustle there by Thompson as he couldn't get to Connor Kurtz, who's coming across midfield.
Patterson and Thompson really.
And Kurtz going to try and get something for himself, and he does there.
They were really looking to work together on that, and they just can't hold on to the ball. So now we're at 20-11, 5 minutes left in that fourth quarter. Here is a look right now at that bullet shot.
We've seen him do that a lot, whether it was at Villanova or Rutgers, and even in the PLL, and he's bringing his outside shot to Sixes.
A lot of off-ball movement from Haudenosaunee right now. Different offensive set than they had before going into that first, second, and third quarter. We have 4:43 left in the fourth quarter, 26 left on that shot clock. United States up 20, Haudenosaunee 11.
Listen, and Sixes, you know, this is a 9-goal game, and most people would think, oh, 9 goals, not too exciting. As we see Cutter, they making that a 10-goal game. But this is still an exciting game of Sixes here.
And I would say that shot is pretty exciting. 4:13 left, 21-11 USA.
And we're just seeing the creativity from Team USA, whether they want to go inside, outside, whether they want to throw it a couple times around. And what a shot there by number 17, Jacob Patterson.
Patterson answering immediately, but hey, I don't know if they have enough time, Jordan. We talk about this, but 3:53 left.
Especially, I think Team USA is going to slow it down here, as they do not necessarily go for the early shots. They've proved that they can make them, but no need to go right
And
away.
we have a takeaway real quick from Haudenosaunee, looking to immediately answer back to level the playing field of the scoreboard right now.
Look at
Boom,
that
and that's
shot
exactly
by number 15, Oakley Thomas.
what they do.
We've seen them in the
Thomas.
draw circle, but now as a shooter making a name for himself.
Here is a look at that. Thomas all the way
outside.
Oh,
what
man.
a beauty.
That hip side A tough save for goalies to make. 21-13.
And Picard ripped that. That just went a little bit wide. That would have been a good one.
3:07 left in the fourth quarter. Right now we have Canada women warming up on the sideline. Haudenosaunee women warming up for their next game.
And if I'm the Haudenosaunee here, I just want to take my time as they're going to go right to the goal as I say that. But here it looks like we're going to have a foul here on Team USA. So Haudenosaunee is looking like they will get their first man up.
And Kelly with a great save again.
Thought they were going to call a foul.
Like we were saying before, Jordan, you know, it's a work in progress, this rule set, and we're all learning it, right? So we're asking you at home to be a little bit patient. We're almost done, about 80%, but not exactly there. So there is a degree of a learning curve, so thank you for your patience as we are learning and our officials are learning too.
And Pat Rush will sit for 30 seconds. Team USA want to see the Haudenosaunee take advantage of this man-up opportunity here. As that one was a little bit wide by Colton Marquise. Could have made one more pass there. They had plenty of time. But Team USA gets bailed out of that man-down situation.
We have 1:55 left in the fourth. It is a 21-13 game. USA up. And USA, obviously, no sense of urgency right now. If they're a player down, they're going to use this time, right? And they don't have very much time. They got a 30-second shot clock. We have 8 seconds left on that. They're going to use as much as they can, right,
And
Jordan?
I wouldn't be surprised if Kelly here whipped it full field, as we see there. That's just another smart play by Team USA. Make it on the show, go all the way down the field, have them use more of that 30-second shot clock as they now have to go across the field.
1:25 left in that fourth. We have a timeout from Haudenosaunee. So, Jordan, what would you be saying right now to your teammates, or if you're the coach of Haudenosaunee, what tweaks are you going to make? You got a minute and 25 left.
Listen, I'm just going to say, make that extra pass. It doesn't have to be the first shot. It just has to be the best shot here. A lot of these Haudenosaunee players are trying to use their body to go into the inside. And we've seen in some cases it works, like right there with Ty Thompson. For Team USA here, we're going to see the highlight of yet another gutty goal. But if I'm the Haudenosaunee coach, I'm just saying, hey, let's get into something a little bit more settled. Let's just try and get the best shots here. You're down by 8 goals here. You have a minute 25 left. You know, you're not going to chip into that in 30 seconds. Let's just try and get the best shot.
1:25 left in the fourth. USA up 21. Haudenosaunee 13. This is the first men's game of our Super Sixes here Sunday, day 2 in Sparks, Maryland.
I celebrate, I think. When I throw a little too much heat, I pull in the ball. It hooks a little bit.
And Haudenosaunee starting us off here going into the last minute 20.
As we see Haudenosaunee being patient there. And what a behind the back by Colton Marquise. What an assist there.
Beautiful behind the back. Beautiful assist. USA, no rush. No rush. And
No
why
rush to
would
bring
they
that
be?
ball back.
So we got 1 minute left.
So now we're going to see the Haudenosaunee here start the press, try and get another possession here. That's a smart move defensively. Try and buy yourself as many possessions as you can. Make Team USA work to run that clock. And they are indeed just going to run that clock right down. So we're going to see Kelly go full field again.
41 seconds left in the final quarter of our first men's game.
So now you're the Haudenosaunee. You want to say, as we're going to see them take a timeout.
A timeout. We have 37 seconds left in our first men's game. Jordan, so thoughts on this game? 21-14. We thought it was going to be closer.
In the first half, it was much closer than the scoreboard indicated, and then we started to see Team USA really take control here in the second half. They were using more of that shot clock, taking it down. We saw them on each possession make at least 3 to 4 passes before finding the best shot, and that's really at the why they have this lead here today. Talked about throughout the game how much chemistry this Team USA has together playing sixes. We're definitely seeing that within their passing. They've had the best passing of any team here all weekend, and that's why they're up by 7 goals, Amanda.
Absolutely. So they have another game later today. So the Haudenosaunee and Canada will play. So this isn't their only game today on Sunday. Next on board here at the turf is Canada women against Haudenosaunee women. So I think that one's going to be close. We saw them play yesterday. That was a fun game. I love seeing that women's roster have not only the veterans of Canada, so you have Dana, but also the young and up-and-coming stars.
And on both sides for the Haudenosaunee women, we're seeing a lot of what really, if we get to the Olympics in 28, if Lacrosse gets there, what the Haudenosaunee would potentially look like as Dehoka Nanticoke finishes with a cap on a nice day for him despite the losses. The Team USA going quickly with Resch, and that was a goal by Resch.
A lot of coaches trying to coach athletes that know they're going to probably not come out with that win is that keep playing. Keep playing. Despite the scoreboard, keep playing. I don't care if it's 30-5.
And listen, in sixes, like here, we're 8.2 seconds. That's almost, depending on how Team USA or the Haudenosaunees, they're getting the ball, depending on how they want to play this, that's really almost 2 possessions.
And 3 seconds left, 2.6, and we have a stoppage of play.
The officials, just like us, are trying to get everything figured out.
I love the sportsmanship on the field right now, too. There have been some tough hits. There have been guys on the ground, but it doesn't matter. They're always helping them, even the other team, And I love that this sport really brings people together. And that is the end of our first men's game this morning. Men's USA versus men's Haudenosaunee. It's a 22-15 end of game. We're going to come back for our next game. It's going to be Canada versus women Haudenosaunee. Jordan and I will be here calling that game also. Jordan, thank you for joining me today for this broadcast.